Hello, hello, and welcome back to another YouTube and Facebook Live. Hello, I'm excited as you guys are coming on. Say hello. Let us know who is here. Don't be shy. Just say hi. So, I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about Tantra and Yoni Massage. And we got the amazing Goddess Rising here, all sexy and ready to talk about Yoni Massage with me. So I'm excited to have her on here because she has been a student of mine for how long? Feels like almost a year now, but it hasn't been that long. But over this whole COVID period, right? You did
Yeah. Let me get my
Tantra.
charger real quick.
Okay, go for it. So she did. So we got Toni on here, and so look, if you're watching this from Facebook, from my Tantra, Sacred and Sexuality group, you do have to go in and give permission to show your name when you speak. So right now, all I'm seeing is Facebook user said good evening. So I don't know who it is, or you could just say good evening. This is XYZ. That way, I can know who you are as you're coming on. So Toni at Goddess Rising has been one of my students that she's done the Tantra Basics breath work with me. She's done Tantra sound healing with me. And she's done Tantra breath, movement, and sound with me. And then my latest course that just ended, Yoni Massage. So gonna have her on. We're gonna be talking about Tantra, Yoni breathing, the things that she's learned in this course. And I'm going to also be able to explain and answer any questions that you have. So welcome, Toni, Goddess Rising.
Hi.
Hi. So let
Hi,
me
such a
ask
pleasure.
you. Yes, pleasure to have you on here. So let me ask you, because a lot of times viewers, before we go into it, just in case they have questions about, what brought you into Tantra? Like what made you decide to study Tantra, to learn Tantra?
Okay, so what really made me fall more in love with Tantra is seeing how passionate you are. And I found you through the Sister Soul Retreat. And I always had an interest in learning Tantra, but all that I knew about Tantra was just tantric sex. So like understanding the breath work and like really the expansion, like Tantra, like mostly meaning expansion and bliss. I really just knew that that is something I wanted for myself. And the framework of Tantra too, like how to incorporate that into my life. I knew that that was possible. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this opportunity to learn more about myself, learn more about my body and how I could use the energy that I have to create, the experience that I want. I thought that was really cool about Tantra, is using your own energy to manifest and to heal.
So I didn't know that you actually became more interested.
Can you hear me okay?
Tantra. I can. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I actually didn't know that you became more interested in Tantra because of following me.
Yes.
Oh,
I've always had an
wow.
interest about Tantra, but to actually see somebody who is practicing and who is living in alignment, that really inspired me to really like get on my journey and to have the support, because I see so many different people who don't look like me, who are living the tantric lifestyle, and to see like a Black woman, a Black femme really, really living in that juicy bliss. I was like, wow, that really inspired me to go towards a community that is like embracing me, like, come on, hurry up, be here. It feels good.
Yes. and that's beautiful. That touched my heart. Like to hear that. I was like, wow. And it's true. It's so interesting because a lot of times, even with me, when I, first started studying Tantra, everybody that I did Tantra with was like white Brazilian specifically, or I took courses in Europe. When I went to Thailand, when I went to Bali, I took courses with people even in Asia, and they were Asian or they were white people teaching, in Asia. So I didn't really see anyone that looked like me doing these courses. And when I did the course, I kind of felt like, wow, where are the people that look like me? And so, I made it a goal to really make community. And I wanted to create community where there would be people like me, studying this, learning together, growing together, which is why I started a Patreon page. My Patreon, which is also at Prandhara Prem, I started that where people could go in and get little bits and pieces on Tantra, right? And so Patreon is a community, and that's it's not expensive, like $5 a month or $10 a month. You get a lot of gems. You get a lot of gems on Tantra. And that's why I created that, so that people can start to learn and have other people of color being there. That's the other reason why I started doing the Sacred Sister Soul Retreat, right? Which is how you found me, bringing women of color together to work on our sexuality, right? And so that was really important to me. And not only bringing women of color together to work on their sexuality, but doing that in this magical place called Brazil, where I live, because Brazil is magical. Bahia specifically, Salvador specifically, you're walking down the street and there's people that look like us, that understand us. And they have such a strong African culture. So I really wanted to get those different ingredients in, when I'm bringing in this community and having people come in and work and learn about Tantra. And so, my courses have been predominantly people of color, Black, brown, Latino people. So it's been, but predominantly, Black people. And so it's been really beautiful. And I'm telling you, I'm missing our class already, right? We just ended the Yoni massage course, and we created such a deep, strong bond. Like it really was this family, this community that I wanted to create. Did you feel that same way?
I definitely did. There's so much to say. I'm kind of speechless. But with the Yoni course too, I love that we added an extra week to the Yoni course, and that we're all excited to.
I wanted to keep being around you guys. I had to add an extra week. It was like I was loving you guys. I was like, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. And I love that too. Like, some people disclose really private information, and we were all cheering each other on, like, okay, well, we can't wait till the update happens and this is going to happen. And well, nothing, you don't expect anything, but just know that there's endless possibilities, and you have people here. You have connections of people who are so passionate about learning and exploring. It's not always necessarily about getting it right and having and squirting and having shaking orgasms, just learning that we are super, super orgasmic, and our body responds to pleasure in so many different ways, and that there's not one fixed vision, or there's not one thing that happens to your body, like an orgasm, and the way we expanded our idea of what an orgasm can be, doing those exercises that like awaken our bio electricity, like learning from you, like that was a form of orgasm, so people sometimes don't give themselves and their body as much credit as they deserve. And so it was beautiful. Like you said, Tantra is about expansion. Well, that means expanding the way that we see even our bodies and our capacity to receive pleasure. I thought that was very enlightening for me personally. Yeah.
Awesome. So, Mr. Antoine, 40, I just had a conversation with my cousin about stuff like what you're talking about. So that's so interesting. Yeah, I wish you were there with this conversation. So what specifically, if you want to share, like, were you and your cousin talking about? And I know you said stuff like what she's talking about, what prompted the conversation. And if you have any questions, let us know. Anyone that's coming on, if you have any questions for us, let us know if there's any questions about Tantra, Yoni massage. And yes, so that's the biggest thing. Like I was telling you about, a lot of times people don't know what orgasm is, right? And so like when you're talking about the bioelectricity within the body, a lot of times people don't realize, as you're awakening that bioelectricity within the body and your body's vibrating, those are forms of orgasm, because there's different levels of orgasm, right? From subtle to like full body trance. And so there's a level of orgasm where you have involuntary movements of the muscles. And so that's preparing our bodies. And that's why in the course, the Yoni massage course, I had you do those biodynamic meditations, right? To really awaken that bioelectricity for you to start vibrating. I did a live yesterday with Montavian on IG from our course. Yeah. And he was like, now he's vibrating every day, all day, even when he's at work. That's so funny. I was like, it'd be like that. I'm telling you, sometimes people, like the wind will blow and I'll be like, ooh, and I'm like orgasming. Or somebody's hair, like a woman or man with long hair, that happen to like whisk it along against my head, and it feels good, and I'll have an orgasm. And I'm like, just like a quick little orgasm. And it's like, I love this. I love being this awake, right? And so, so that's been the beauty of doing this Yoni massage course. And one of the things that I really loved about it was being able to teach people how to do techniques beyond just touching the yoni, right? Like the full body massage to really awaken that, the erogenous zones, the bioelectricity within the body, so you could really feel pleasure, So let me ask you.
Ask me anything, Renee. Like if you want if you want the details, ask me whatever. I'm really open, and I really hope that whatever it is can encourage other people too to ask themselves similar questions, or to reach out to you and really get curious and explorative.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for being so open and and just being willing to make yourself vulnerable and share. And and so anyone else, like if you guys have questions about her experience with working with what I'm doing, my Tantra courses or the Yoni massage course. So let me ask you, what do you feel like has changed the most for you during this whole process of doing the Tantra basic courses all the way up into the Yoni massage course? Like, how has it changed your life or helped you, or like what has it done for you?
It's taught me to slow down, first and foremost. Are we still together? It's taught me to slow down and really connect with my body and not have to rush the process of, we disconnected for a second.
Oh, no, I put the screen on you so we can, so people can kind of focus on you.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So it's taught me to slow down. It's taught me to take my time with myself, and to, first of all, what I loved about the Tantric, the breathing and the movement and the sound really allowed me to realize that a lot of things that I thought I healed from, I was still carrying around. So there is this really intense moment of self-awareness, and it was beautiful because although I felt like I was entering through these caves and these dark spaces, I felt like being connected to my breath gave me the enlightenment. So I wasn't constantly being, wasn't losing my power, or I wasn't being triggered into the past. I felt like breathing and knowing that I had the tools and I had the support, it really allowed me to face my fears and to honestly like be victorious. I was going to swear, but I don't know if they're swearing allowed, but really be that like,
swear, swear.
okay. Really being that victorious, badass bitch that I know that I am, and that
Yes.
I have to reclaim so much of my power. And I really felt like the basics allowed me to kind of take the step into the Yoni massage, because I know that if I had seen the Yoni massage right off the bat, maybe I would have been intimidated by that, or maybe I would have said, oh my God, that's so interesting, and then let it pass me by. But doing the courses with you and building trust with you, I think that there's a sense of trust that I feel towards you, and I see you as a mentor, but I also too see you like walking side by side and not being on this pedestal. And I think that it's a grounding experience as well. Yeah, I just feel like doing the basics created the fertile ground that allows you to really stand and like root your feet into your experience. I'm for sure not everybody has, like in the class, not everyone had taken your basics and they still felt the benefits of doing the practices and implementing the learning from the courses into their life and throughout the Yoni massage course. But I really would suggest like to do the basics and get the foundation built.
Well, yeah, and that's definitely important, right? It's good to have that foundation built, and that's why I set it up that way, to have the Tantra basics first. And the basics is the 3-part, right? The Tantra breath work, the Tantra sound healing, and the Tantra movement, because that's the foundation of this work. And so many people want to be tantric and have tantric experiences, but they don't have that base. And it's so important to be able to have the breath work, to learn how to channel that energy. And so that's why I even, excuse me, even with the Tantra course, knowing that there was quite a few people who hadn't done the basics course with me, I went ahead and did the first part of doing the breath work again. And as you saw, it was different breath work than we did in the Tantra basics, right? So I even expanded more. And that's the same thing. The next course on the Lingam massage that I'm about to teach starting this Sunday, I'm going to even expand even more on the breath work. I'm going to be teaching, up regulated breath, down regulated breath, these different breathing techniques that can really get us to have orgasms, like real deep orgasms. These are even breath works that can take you to altered states of consciousness, So when you go deeper into Tantra, you don't even need to use drugs. Like, you can actually go into that bliss, into that ecstasy. And a lot of times clients will go into like a trance light, and I don't want to scare you, not like a trance, like you're walking like this, but like when you just really access a different level of consciousness and you get downloads, you get information, you see beautiful things. And I remember one of the times I was at a tantric workshop and I was doing breath work. And, my eyes closed, I'm lying down and I'm doing this breathing, and I began to see colors, right? Like just like vivid neon colors. And I had never done drugs. I had never done ecstasy or LSD, but I kind of imagined it was like that, right? I was like, oh my God, like this is beautiful. This is amazing. And so these are the different experiences that you can have just from breath work alone, and it's been, you could do the research and see that it's been proven that just breath work alone can take you into these altered states, just like if you were using a psychedelic. So that same thing, breath work alone can help you to get to the point of having orgasms and full body orgasms. And so it's really important to, learning how to work with the breath. So like even with the people who did my Yoni massage course, even the people who are coming in and doing my Lingam massage, there's tons of people who haven't done the basics, and that's fine. Like you can do this, but then it's important after this to go back and now do the basic course, because that's going to give you a good foundation of things that you can use in addition to this like Lingam massage course that's coming up, or to the Yoni massage course that we did.
Yeah.
Right. So what like do you feel like well, let's see here. Mr. Antoine has said some things. That's fire what she's saying about not placing an inspirational person on a pedestal. Yes, I love it. And I'm glad that she said that too, because
Yeah.
I also make it so where people are not putting me on a pedestal. Like I'll ask my students questions, and I always say, right in the class that I'm learning from you as well, because this is a journey that we're all growing together, and there's always things that all of us can learn. And so, and I'm not gonna lie, like every class that I teach, I'm always learning something. All the clients that I work with, I'm learning something. So it's such a beautiful exchange of energy where we're all learning and we're growing together. And that's how I create this. I create it where you feel that community. You feel that like we're walking hand in hand, you know? And I've taken classes where I go in and I feel like, oh, that's that teacher on the pedestal. That teacher is not making room for, to become a friend. That teacher is not making a room where you could feel so friendly and you feel that distance. And that's never been me. That's never been me. I think that I think that is important.
There's so many things that I want to say, Renee. Like, yeah, there's so many things. The one thing about I heard the trap witch say something about putting people on a pedestal. When you put someone on a pedestal, you give them a reason to show you their asshole. Like, literally, like, when you say someone's an asshole. Well, when you put them up on a pedestal and you're looking up at them, you're seeing their asshole.
Right.
So, I mean, it hasn't really worked, and you've never been that kind of mentor where I felt like, so much, but you still create that space, like, Zoom being a site of learning, a site of exploring, not the holier than thou mentality. And it just creates a safer space for everyone, and including yourself, because like you said, you're learning too, and it's reciprocal. Something else that I wanted to say was getting into talking about the massage that we did. Maybe we could wait and share that a little bit later, but there's so much.
Share now. Why wait? And that's the thing about Tantra, right? Is living in the present.
Yeah.
So this is coming to you. You're excited to share it. Let's get right into
it. So as a person with a yoni, I have to say, doing the Tantra massage with you live, it just, again, completely, like, I just feel like I was reintroduced to my vulva, reintroduced to my yoni. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm 29 years old now. I just turned 29, so I'm like 28, 9. And I mean, I felt like, I've explored my vagina ever since I was younger too. I was very curious. My bed had a window, not a window, but it had a mirror in the headboard. So I would like plop my feet up at an early age and look at my vagina, look inside and look at my vulva. And I've always just been very curious about my vagina, about pleasure. And I've had amazing partners. But I have to say, the yoni massage one-on-one with you, I was again reintroduced to my even my clitoris. Like, we talked about doing clitoral mapping, which some people might not know what clitoral mapping is. But through clitoral mapping, I just realized, damn, I have so much tension here. And I love too that when we were in the class, you were telling us, like, put the vibrators away and just really, like, use your hands and take your time. And I think that we're so used to, like, okay, yeah, like getting the pleasure and chasing the pleasure. And even sometimes when we're in the pleasure and we're taking our time with the pleasure, we're still thinking there's still a performative aspect. And I'm not saying necessarily like we're faking it, but there's still an idea of where you want to be and how you like to get there and what you like to look like and how you want to feel. And I think really doing the yoni massage with you and taking my time and feeling out the energy, I would say the emotion or the stagnation, you know, feeling that out and feeling like, you know, the left side, there's a lot more anxiety than the right side, you know, so feeling that out and just listening to my body, because, you know, I know how to get myself off. I know how to have G-spot orgasms. I know how to have clitoral orgasms. But Tantra really afforded me the opportunity to just like massage that area, like feel into that area and like hold it. You know, and I did feel a release afterwards, and I did feel an intense wave of calmness, and I felt super empowered after our yoni massage. I was like,
yes,
wow, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you feel like your orgasms have changed since doing the yoni massage and the tantra courses in general?
I like, honestly, I know that they will change, but I've been taking my time, really. Like I've been just like taking my time and realizing that there's so much going on that I wasn't aware of. So I've been just like more like just intentionally touching myself and not necessarily, you know, having the intense orgasms, because I can just sit with an idea and just feel the love, all the love that is coming back to me, and that turns me on. So just even just like touching myself just like that, instead of having to you know, to rub my clit or to go in and touch my G-spot, I just have been enjoying the taking it slow. And I've also been observing celibacy, so I'm really excited when I do have partners and start really sharing my tantric journey with them, if, you know, obviously the person's open to it. So I'm very excited about the future orgasms, but as of lately, I've been just like really slowing down, because I feel like there's so many years of not slowing down and not listening to my body's responses. So now I'm just like taking it easy, and I'm so okay with that. I'm so okay with that.
Yeah,
And I think
that's important.
pardon?
That really is important. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're bringing this, you know, and that you're discussing this. Because, you know, prior to Tantra, I was a squirter. You know, I could have these like powerful, like squirting orgasms, right? And then one of the things, but still, I wasn't necessarily so connected to my body. You know, it was something that just kind of happened, right? And so, and I wasn't connected. And so now, after me working with Tantra and actually slowing down and learning these different techniques to connect to my body, to be more intimate, now I can actually have longer and more, what's the word, pleasurable orgasms, because you can squirt and not really feel anything. You really can, and I have several times, right? And so now I realized that it changed in that sense, like where I'm more connected to my body and I'm feeling so much more. And before, you know, I would have sex, I would have a partner, we would have sex, and then I would squirt, I would, you know, I would have an orgasm, but it wasn't like, but I would still feel empty. It was like there was just this emptiness, and I'm like, I don't know, there still needs to be more, like, but I didn't know what that more was. I'm like, there still needs to be more. I just know I felt empty after having sex. And so, you know, coming to and finding the Tantra and learning how to connect to myself, learning how to feel my body, and then also learning how to connect with my partner. So now when I have sex, you know, it is a more spiritual type of connection with my partner, and I don't end up feeling lost. So not only do I have like a stronger orgasm, it's also just more beautiful. It's, you know, it's just such a beautiful connection, you know.
And I think sometimes people rush that process because you know, there's a deep fear of intimacy, and even a deep fear of pleasure. Like,
Right.
you know, people like to think that, oh yes, like they're open to pleasure and they're open to intimacy, but then when you're in these moments that, you know, you can really expand beyond what you thought was pleasurable and your ideas of intimacy, then it can kind of get kind of scary, because you realize that what you were experiencing, or what you base your whole concept of pleasure and intimacy on, isn't something that you actually enjoy, you
Right.
know? And so when you get deeper and you get into that space of surrender, and a lot of people are so afraid of surrendering, and I think that is like a collective journey right now. You know, I feel like the collective is going through their dark night of the soul, you know, and they want to, you just want to hold on. You want to hold on to everything because you're afraid that if I don't hold on to it and it disappears, like, how will I know myself?
Right.
So I think that's
right.
Tantra is so beautiful in that aspect, as well as allowing you to like reintroduce yourself to your body, reintroduce yourself to your partnerships, and explore, and not have it based off of not have it like contingent on something. The comment just went by. I kind of quickly saw it.
Oh yeah. So it said, even as a man, I feel what y'all are saying. So I'm glad you feel what we're saying, you know.
Yeah,
And
totally.
so, yeah, Mr. Antoine was also talking about how philosophy and thought trumps science, you know, and how that's the ultimate teacher. And so even I just even want to add on to that, even beyond the philosophy and thought, experience as well. Experience is like, it's a huge teacher. And so a lot of times when, you know, people come ask me about Tantra and they're trying to understand Tantra, sometimes they just can't understand it. And I'm like, you have to experience it.
Yeah.
That's the best way you can understand Tantra. And so many people will just read and read up on Tantra. And they're like, I read these books about Tantra and I still don't know what it is. And I'm like, you need to do a workshop. And I lived Tantra. I lived in a Tantra commune for 2 years, literally doing Tantra yoga every day, Tantric meditation twice a day, Tantric meditation twice a week. I mean, Tantric meditation twice a day, Tantric yoga once a day, and Tantric massage twice a week. So I was like really immersed. And so with that, I lived Tantra, and I felt the life-changing energies that it is. I felt what it is. And so sometimes it can even just be so difficult to explain it, because Tantra really has so many different meanings. But the basic one that a lot of people use is that it means a loom, a weave of connections. But then there's also so many other meanings to what tantric sex means, right? I mean, Tantra means.
And so many schools of Tantra too.
So many schools of Tantra. And I was literally talking about tantric sex on Clubhouse. That's why tantric sex came out.
Everyone's interested in tantric sex.
Everyone's interested in tantric sex. So many people come to me because they want to learn about tantric sex. And that tantric sex is it's like 5% of what Tantra really is about, right? It's only that, it's 5%. So there's so much more, so much more.
Do you find that, you know, as someone who's very tantric, like, do you find, because I'm just finding on my journey as I'm exploring Tantra and I'm getting my feet wet and I'm kind of like at my knees and like feeling the waters. I already was starting, like, even, you know, into my celibacy journey too. I just feel like with Tantra now, part of my life, I don't have this, like, don't touch me, I'm too good. Like, that's not it. But do you feel at some point, like, because I feel like Tantra has allowed me really to like consecrate my temple, if I could say that, like, you know, like really just understand my body as a temple, and to really, you know, doing the cleansing and keeping it a certain temperature, and just the air and the earth and the water, like everything just, it feels so magical. And I want to share it with somebody who can respect that. But do you find at some point with your tantric journey or in your lifestyle that it's hard sometimes to even like to date and stuff, like, because, you know, I feel like Tantra has really I want to say allowed me, but it has inspired me and shown me that I need to step my standards up, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a great question. And that's the thing, right? Like, um, yeah, because right now I don't want just anybody inside of me, right?
Yeah.
So I have a lot of people I have a lot of people that you have both ends, right? I got a lot of
Mhm.
people who's interested in me and they're constantly coming after and wanting to go out. And I'm like, not feeling that energy. And I'm not
Yeah.
trying to exchange that energy because we take
Yeah.
on that energy,
Mhm.
right? And then there's other people who become intimidated, right?
Mhm.
So so you have both of those standards, right? But and one of the things that I say is for me to enter into a relationship now and for me to even have sex, I want somebody who's working on themselves. And it doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be with Tantra. I would prefer Tantra, but they have to
Yeah.
be working on themselves. They have to be working on their energy,
Mhm.
however way that is, how whatever form of spirituality they use. But they have to do that because I'm just not gonna click with them. Now I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. There's sometimes I just want to fuck. And so
Period.
I got to find guy. We're gonna do something, but I'm gonna cleanse my energy afterwards, right? And
Mhm.
and and I will. But it's that right now is more so rare. It's more so rare because I mean, when you really know what the effect of energy and what's happening, and a lot of times even just laying in the same bed with somebody else, even if you're not having
Yeah.
sex, they're still in your energy field, so you're still taking on their energy, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm very, very conscious of this because, especially since I'm doing a lot of work with energy and I'm constantly working with people, I have to protect myself. I have to protect my energy,
A
and
thousand
so I just
percent.
can't. I just can't. So, yeah.
And
So
I
it
think,
has definitely changed in that sense. Hmm.
yeah, I was gonna add too, like, going into 2019, I was working in a youth center, and this is like pre-COVID times, but I didn't like shaking hands with people.
Hmm.
And people would be like, "Oh, c'est parce que t'es germaphobe," like, "Oh, you're germophobic," and I'm like, "No, it's not because I'm a germophobic or anything like that. It's just I'm so sensitive, and I'm becoming more aware, and just the hands as portals, just like the hands are portals and nipples are portals, the yoni portal, eyes
Hmm.
portal, mouth portal.
Right.
So understanding that and not wanting to shake someone's hand, like I would more so do fist bumps, but
Hmm.
I didn't want to do the handshaking because I
Right.
didn't feel like it aligned with me in terms of integrity. I didn't want to do it. Just like, if you don't want to hug somebody, don't hug anybody. Um, and I really felt like that was really important for me. It could seem like a small boundary, but I think creating that boundary too is just a way of, creating a safer space for me first and foremost, and not
Hmm.
thinking about just thinking, being mindful of energy leaks.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So Mr. Antoine had says, sex has become a science to her from my perspective, and she's willing to be freaky, but it has to be someone with a scientific brain. I think he's referring to me. I don't know if you or me, but I think me because I said I will fuck, but I'll just clean the energy after that. So it's so funny. So
Yeah,
I see,
the
I see
last
there's
dream
other Right. I see other people are on. Come on, say hello. Let us know you're here. Ask some questions if you have any questions for us. Let us know about if you have any questions about
absolutely.
Tantra, Yoni Massage. And also if you have any questions about my upcoming Lingam massage. Actually, I want to share, I got two things. So if you have any questions about any of these two things, my Lingam massage course is coming up, and that is a 4-week course that's going to be starting this Sunday. And it's going to be for four consecutive Sundays up until the first Sunday in March, March 7th. And I did have someone ask me, I had a woman ask me, do you need to have a lingam to do this course? No, you don't need to have a lingam to do this course. Tony shaking her head no, because I had already said that at the other course. So you don't have to have a lingam. I'm going to be showing you everything, breaking it down from start to finish. We'll have some videos as well. You're going to get the replays in Google Classroom. So I'm going to set up a Google Classroom where we can also connect and talk to each other. And they're going to have, so everything is going to be on there. Now, so what Toni was talking about earlier when she did the yoni massage, I do have one day with Zoom where we're going to do together just to practice because I want to see to make sure you're doing it correctly. And so we're going to do a call where you're going to do a massage. Now, you can, if you don't have a partner, you can do the beginning sensitive massage, that sensual touch on yourself, and then practice with the movements on a cucumber, or if you have a dildo or a banana, and that's fine. The most important thing is I want to see that you're doing the movement and you're doing it correctly. That way I can make any corrections. So that's a question that I got asked a lot. So I just wanted to let you know that you don't need to have a partner to do that. Then the second course, but if you have any other questions about the Lingam massage course, Lingam is just the eggplant. That's a sacred Sanskrit word for eggplant. Then there is also a couples workshop that I'm doing this Sunday for Valentine's Day. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day in the US. Do you guys celebrate Valentine's Day on February 14th in Canada?
Listen, Renee, I'm about to blow your mind, maybe. I don't know if you probably already thought about this, but one, yes, we have February 14th is International Valentine's Day. Two, are you ready for this? Is everybody ready for this?
Are we ready?
Okay. So I was today years old when I found out that eggplant was a Sanskrit word for lingam. Okay. But eggplant, planting, or even fertilizing the egg. I just thought about that.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. I'm today years old as well. Oh my God. That's so funny.
Just you saying eggplant, it just was like eggplant. And then, you know, the eggs already being in the yoni, but then the planting, like the fertilization.
Yes. Oh my God, that is deep. And Mr. Antoine said, "Oh, this is interesting."
That is
and then deep. Jennifer says, "It is so refreshing to see fellow Black women in this field. I'm so inspired. Big love to you too."
Join the club. Wow,
yes,
join the club, Jennifer. Right, yes.
Eggplant. Look, listen, Jennifer, Mr. Antoine, anybody else who's listening and not commenting right now, share this because other people need to see this and be enlightened. This is what enlightenment is, right? These little bits of knowledge that comes into us. This is enlightenment. And that's deep. Planting that egg. That's what lingam is. So, and I'm about to teach Love from London. Oh, I wish I could hear your accent, Jennifer. I love the British accent. Girl, if you're in London, if you're in Clubhouse, join me in Clubhouse. Let's talk so I can hear your accent. Clubhouse, I'm at Prandhara Tantra without the Prem. So you see it here in my name, but it's just Prandhara Tantra on Clubhouse. Follow me there. And I want to hear your accent. Let's talk. If you are not following me here on YouTube, please be sure to follow me and also hit the notification bell so that you can receive the notifications when I have the upcoming videos. And check out, I have tons of videos on Tantra, on sex, how to make a girl squirt, how to do Lingam massage on a man, all kinds of things. So, yes. So I'm going to be teaching this course starting on Sunday, how to plant that egg and how to really awaken that lingam so that when, you know what, this is deep. So this is just came from me after you said that. So deep.
This is so deep.
So deep. I'm going to be teaching my class on Lingam massage. I'm going to be teaching you how to prepare that man's lingam, preparing that lingam to plant the egg spiritually, energetically, to be energetically at his best. And this is so important because how many men and women have sex and women keep getting yeast infections, BV, bacterial vaginosis, because of that energy that she's taken on from her partner, you know, because what he's eating, what he's drinking, all of that is coming out from the lingam. So we're preparing that lingam. We're preparing that energy, cleansing that energy so he can plant that egg. And it can be healthy and strong and vital. Oh my God. Woo! So, girl,
And the
you're gonna have to come back.
reflexology also. I'm thinking, yeah, no, that when you said eggplant, because I mean I've heard that, lingam is a Sanskrit word for the penis, and I've also heard another word, but I haven't heard
Pillar.
eggplant. So then when you said eggplant, planting of the egg, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's him. That's my girl right there.
Thank you for coming on and listening to us to talk. Are you cooking eggplant by chance?
But I think I'm excited to learn. I think what I'm excited to learn about also is the reflexology, the breath work, because I'm looking forward to. I've been kind of like dating more older guys, and it seems more like I'm pansexual, so I really date people regardless of their gender orientation or their sexual orientation, and I'm just excited to explore, and mostly with yonis and lingams is to explore the reflexology of these portals, because yes, we can do the reflexology in our hands and our feet, but also to be able to tap in through the genitals. I think I'm really, really excited to do that.
So our body is amazing. Our body is amazing. We were created, right? As amazing beings, spiritual beings, sexual beings, healers, right? And so not only do we have the reflexology points on our hands, on our feet, we have them on our ears, we have them on our eyes, which is why iridology is great. And I do iridology too. So I do readings. So just from looking in your eyes, you can see the organs, you can see what's going on with the body. But like you said, we have them in the genitals, And the beautiful thing is these reflexology points on the penis matches up within the vagina, right? And so that's how amazing our body is. But even if you're homosexual, you have same-sex relationships, you can still work on this, and you can still tap into the reflexology points from doing, like we did, the vaginal mapping. So you could do the healing, and even through the Lingam massage. In the Lingam massage course, I'm going to be teaching a lot of these points as well. Girl, that's a whole nother course. Some more things like we talked about with the Yoni massage course. There's even a second part. Like there's just so much that we can teach within that. There's a lot that I can teach, and I ended up extending it for another week because there was, just to really see how much you guys got and talk a little bit more. But I'm definitely at some point going to do a part 2 because there's just tons.
It's deep,
but
like you said.
Yeah, it's deep. It's deep.
Yeah.
So.
And I love
so what? So Mr. Antoine says, "What's a lingam, and do I have one?" So a lingam is Lingam. So I just put that in there, and yes, you have one. A lingam is just the Sanskrit word for sacred penis, or eggplant. So yes, you do have that. He says, beautiful. The ball sack is the labia majors. Maybe you can see it that way. I never thought about that. Never thought about that. But it's interesting because the clitoris, if you look at the clitoris, and I should have had this here. Normally I have my thing here, but I put it away. The clitoris looks like a penis, right? So if you want to kind of compare the female genitals to the male genitals, you can look at this as well. So the clitoris is like a male penis, but it's smaller. And it also becomes erect, right? So it becomes erect. But now the amazing thing about the clitoris is it's unique, and only purpose is for pleasure. The penis, you also pee out of that, right? Because the urethra is in there. But the clitoris is only for pleasure, and it has up to 8,000 nerve endings. The male penis has up to 4,000 nerve endings. So that means the woman has so much more chances of having pleasure. She has so much capacity to have pleasure. And so with the Yoni massage course, I taught clitoral mapping to really release the tensions, the irritations, the stress, any blockages that you might feel in the clitoris, right? So that we can open it up to even more pleasure. Because a lot of times women don't feel the capacity that they can because of the blockages that's there. And the vaginal mapping that I taught in there, same thing. So these are techniques that I taught that women can do on their own and continue to do it to do their healing. And the men who were in the course that learned, they learned these to do with their woman, right? And so, and there were also women in the course that learned to do it with their women as well as on their bodies, right? We had people in the course who had a male partner and a female partner, and it was beautiful. It's beautiful to see that. I love that, right? And I love that we're being open and and releasing these prejudices, these stigmas, these taboos around sexuality. It's so important. And so with the same thing,
I was going to touch on that.
And the same thing with the Lingam massage. Go ahead. I was just going to add real quick, and then you can touch. Okay, so I wanted to say that the same thing with the Lingam massage. I'm going to be teaching that starting this Sunday. I'm going to be teaching how to connect to your body, how to do healing. I'm going to be teaching men as well. So this is a course that men could take and women could take, right? So men, you're going to learn how to, even if you're, if you masturbate, you can use these different strokes that I'm teaching to take your masturbation to a whole nother level where you're not just doing this, right? There's so many different things that you can do to really awaken that energy within your lingam, and also bring that energy up, and not just keep that energy concentrated in the genitals. It's important to be able to move that energy up to all over your body. And women who are taking this course to do it on their man, you're going to learn how to do that, to bring that energy up. And you're going to be able to take your man to a whole nother level where he's going to be like, whoa, what did she just do? Like, I'm not trying to have any other woman touch me. Like, for real, y'all. This is deep. Like, it's great. So that's the thing. And that's an important thing, like learning how to move that energy up and expand that energy. So those are the things that I'm going to be teaching. And then just really quick, because it's Valentine's Day, I started to say, I'm going to be teaching a couples workshop for couples, any type of couple, whatever gender, whatever gender that you like, is all good. We're going to be doing techniques. I don't know if you saw me. I was on Married at First Sight as a Tantric therapist couple on season 10, episode 10, when they were in the DC area. And so I taught, I taught the couple on there many different things. They showed little clips, but I'm going to be teaching all of that I taught on Married at First Sight. I'm going to be teaching tantric rituals to really help to increase your intimacy and connection within you and your partner. It's a 3-hour workshop from 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check that out if you have a partner and you want to do that course, or even if you want to do the Lingam massage course. So go ahead and touch on that, what you were going to say.
Okay, yeah, there's a few things I was going to say. One thing, I was going to make a joke. And yeah, we love you, Renee. We love you.
Thank you. And I love you too, soul of a man. Thank you.
So I was gonna make a joke, and the joke that I was gonna say was, yeah, so I got 8,000 nerves. If you're gonna get on one of them, get on the clit.
Right.
Yes. And 2, I was gonna say, I feel like what Antoine was saying about I would think that the ball sack, like, I feel like, like the clit would be the penis, and I would say that the ball sack, I feel like would be like more of an equivalent to the ovaries. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Actually, that's what it would. Yeah, that's exactly what it would be more equivalent to.
Yeah. And then the third thing,
I taught you well, Toni. I taught you well.
Yeah, it just kind of made some sense. And then the third thing I was gonna say, what was the one? Okay, maybe it's escaping me, the third thing, but I was going to say a third comment. Oh yes, it was about so I definitely been feeling very horny. I'm a creator, right? And especially around the cycles of the moon, I can tell often, especially when I'm ovulating, when I feel super super horny. And then when my period's coming, like 3 days before my period's coming, forget it. Like I am super, I have to. It's like I have to masturbate, and then the next day my period's there, and I'm like, yeah. So that's why I was craving chocolate. And so instead of like, what I love too about this exploration with Tantra is like mapping my cravings, mapping the energy changes, the subtle energy changes. Definitely, I feel like I've been more aware of the power that I have in terms of, okay, in the root chakra, there's these things that are happening, and then the feeling ungrounded, and then the energy is going up into like the sacral, and then I'm having the cravings to create, I'm having the cravings to, fulfill my desires in different ways. But instead of just kind of keeping the energy there and like masturbating, where it just kind of like goes up and then goes down, like raising, and that's one thing I love about the Tantra basics too, is like connecting that energy from your sacral to your heart and using that sexual energy to heal yourself, instead of just, it's like, we are pro masturbation over here, but also to like pro intention and like using the energy, because a lot of times too, I feel like, especially with people who have penises, like, you masturbate and then your body loses all these minerals and all of these like this really precious fluid, and that's great too, but sometimes like you can use that energy to create more of an experience for yourself internally, and like feeling the energy rise to the heart, especially right now with like the whole pandemic. There's so much pressure on the lungs. So, being with someone who's dealing with a lot of grief, like I feel like many other people, just using that creative energy to rise and to kiss the lungs, and then using the air element of the lungs to really breathe in and hold space for that. Sex is a ritual. So, knowing that there are other tools into like creating this sacred space yourself, or continuing this journey, and not always just like doing some of the ritualistic sides that keep you rooted in tarot. It's like the devil energy. It's not as always like the devil, but it is more so the root and the 3-dimensional and the physical realm. When our job here is we're spiritual beings. We have this human aspect, but we are essentially spiritual beings. And so using the energy to heal has just been so powerful, to raise the sacred energy, and not just have it below the 3 chakras, but allow it to like rise up. And then when it hits the crown, that makes sense that you're having all of these like colors and visions, and like this intense cosmic love between you and the universe and the multiverse. It's like
beautiful. It's so beautiful. And as you were talking about the creative, the creativity and the creative energy, I've had a couple of people come to me to do courses where the creative energy was blocked, right? Like I've had writers and they couldn't write. They did work with me, and they started writing books. I had another lady who was trying to get pregnant, couldn't get pregnant, did a course with me, unblocked so many things, got pregnant. And she was like, I got a testimony up. She was like, I got pregnant, and I believe it was because of working with you.
100%.
It unblocks some things, and so this is some powerful work. It's some powerful work, and it does some really powerful things. So let me read here. Jennifer says, there was a time during an unplanned tantric sex experience with a man, soul connection, where I felt like I wasn't even in the room at one point. I've never experienced such a deep meditative state. And then she says, it was beautiful. My eyes were closed, and I saw beautiful things in my mind's eye, and my climax felt like it coursed through my body. It was subtle but energizing.
Amen
and then
to
she
that.
said, Yes. And then she said, oops, this one here.
Oh, hit the
Since that
ground.
healing, yeah, well, I meant to go to this one first. Since that
Okay.
healing experience, I've developed a big curiosity for Tantra. I'm going in order of how she wrote it. Um,
Mm.
and, th- and this one, I keep doing that one again. Yes, the power of breath. And then, yes, it hit the crown. That's why I experienced that. So powerful, so beautiful. And yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's a beautiful experience. And actually, I kind of had that first experience as well. I was in India, and I had my first unplanned tantric experience, and it was beautiful. And I had been searching ever since, right? And I found it here in Brazil. Hey, Trisha. So, another of your co-students. So, and Trisha's going to be on. I'm going to be having her on soon on YouTube to share her story as well. I can't wait to have her on soon. And so what I was saying, so yeah, so that's what really made me want to learn Tantra as well. Jennifer and Fachi, guys, follow me on Instagram, right? Follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, and I can let you know upcoming courses. Also, hit me up on my website. I'm constantly having different courses coming up. So follow me on Instagram, Prandhara Prem _ Tantra. Follow me on Twitter at Renee Adolphe. Facebook is Renee Adolphe as well. Patreon, if you want to do any of my, just got to be in my community, starting at $5 a month. I have sacred, I have Sunday self-exploration Sundays where I'm giving you little activities, little tips, techniques to really explore your body. On Mondays is Monday meditation. So we're doing a meditation on Mondays. And then Tuesdays are Tantric Tuesdays, Tantra Tuesdays. So I have some great stuff in there. I got different plans. You get more with each one, but great stuff. Follow me on there as well. Join my community, my website for more information on my Lingam massage course, the Love Connection workshop for couples. Follow me at www.prandharapren.com. And follow me on Clubhouse as well at Prandhara Tantra. I be having some great conversations on there. Look forward to having you guys. Jennifer says, yes, I follow you on IG. I'll be signing up for your course for sure. Thank you. I look forward to having you. And thank you, Toni. Thank you, Goddess Rising. Follow her. Go ahead and share your IG handle because you got more than one IG handle. And so share your stuff. Tell them what you do. And I'm going to put the screen on you because I got to pee real quick. So I'm going to put it on you. Go ahead and share your handles and what you do so people can follow.
No problem. So hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure, as you can feel, because I feel it. I know it's real. So you can follow me at Goddess Rising, JODDIX.rising. And I also have another page called Cosmic Tea, and that is at Cosmic COSMIQUETEA. So the Goddess Rising is what I use for a lot of the youth practitioner work that I do, care work that I do, spirit care work, but most of the spirit work and cosmic community is over at Cosmic Tea. So feel free to join that journey. Yeah, everybody's welcome. And in the Cosmic Tea spot, I love to prioritize queer, trans, two-spirit folks. So yes, I do moon circles, different ceremonies for, re-meeting yourself, the unbecoming stages, just talking a lot of astro stuff. I love astrology, so I'm often talking a lot about astrology. A lot of people in my life are just like, oh my gosh, you're always talking about astrology. So create a space where you can just have those conversations. So that's where I've been having a lot of the conversations over at Cosmic Tea. Yes. And you're back.
Yes, I'm back. So yes, Jennifer, it's spelled Goddess Rising. You spelled that correctly.
Because in French, dis has the same sound as the dis in goddess. So that's why put it to goddess. And also too, this whole the dark feminine energy coming back up and being purged and rising. So that's another reason why. Yeah, in fact, Sam's come to some of my moon circles, and it's just been so beautiful. Yeah. And they're virtual now.
So Mr. Antoine had said earlier he wished we were in Jacksonville, Florida. I lived in Florida for some time. I lived in Tallahassee. Well, I went to school in Tallahassee, Florida State. And I also lived in Winter Haven, Florida, which is in the middle of nowhere. Jennifer says, perfect. And how was your other page spelled? How's your other page spelled? Cosmic
so the other page, yes, is cosmic, but in French. So COSMIQUETEA. Cosmic tea.
Cosmic tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? While we're doing that, let me give you my other IG page, Sacred Soul Retreat. Follow me there, because I think that's where you first heard about me, right? I do retreats for women of color in Brazil. And so on that page, you'll get a lot of information about the retreat, Sacred Soul Retreat. I do retreats for women of color where we're really working on this sexual energy. Like we're really doing the work in an immersion, right, of releasing the blockages, releasing the traumas that's within the body. But we're having fun while we're doing it. And we're on the beach where we have a beach to ourselves. And, you know, some of the women have felt so comfortable. They got naked on the beach, and we did some really great work, you know, connecting our nudity, right? But not only are we going to do work with the spiritual, you know, the Tantra healing, we're also going to get to go to Afro-Brazilian dance class. We're going to eat Afro-Brazilian food. You're going to get a cooking class and learn how to make caipirinhas, which is the national drink of Brazil. We're going to, I'm going to take you to a condom-lace ceremony. Just to really experience the African religion, the Afro-Brazilian religion, and see the ceremonies and see the women in their beautiful white and the head wrap on, and just be a part of that. And it's such an amazing. So you're going to get some beautiful beaches to relax on in between our work and in between the touring. And those of you who want to get cleansing done, you could get a cleansing. Those of you who want to get a reading done, you know, we have the spiritual mother of the Condom Lace Center who does what we call Buzio readings, which is the cowrie shell readings. So it's only if you want to get that done. That's optional. So, but come on. Jennifer says, sounds like a dream, and she's always wanted to come to Brazil. Yeah. So I'm actually this retreat, and Toni's coming.
I'll be there.
This retreat will be July 30th to August 7th in Brazil. And it's a great time. It's a great time. So, you know, on my Sacred Soul Retreat, you'll see some testimonies, some pictures. I also have testimonies and more information on my website at prandharaprem.com. So go there and check it out and get more information. It really is a dream, and Brazil is just magical. So, well, thank you again, Toni, for coming on and talking. Thank you to everybody that came on, that was listening, that liked. Share this video because people can watch the replay and they can learn some stuff. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can receive the notification when I have upcoming lives. And so there's always great information, great stuff that I'm sharing and discussing. So thank you.
You've never told a lie. You've never told a lie.
Thank you. So thank you, Toni, once again. And once again, thank you, everybody, for coming and watching, and those who are watching later. All right. Good night. Love you guys.